Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Elso and this is Ryan and we are back to do our predictions, but for this time for the second semi-final. So we start with Australia. They will open the semi-final. It is a funny entry, it is very charismatic. Australia has got their best friends in the semi-final. They've got UK, Ireland and Malta. I feel like they will give them the boost, but because it's the first one, I feel like after Malta and the Finnish performance, people will forget about him, so I put him in 11th place, just outside of the qualifiers. I'm not sure about this entry yet.
Yeah, I fear the same with Australia. I think it's a good choice for an opener, but yeah, I'm not convinced it's going to help them when it comes to the voting because they historically do struggle a little bit, and I think they could have done with a better running order slot, which of course was limited by the fact they drew the first half in the first place. So yeah, for that reason, I unless they can do something magical on the stage and really somehow recreate that music video, which I'm sure they'll try to do. But at this stage, I also have it in 11th.
Right, so following Australia, we've got Montenegro. I feel like this song is very forgettable. They were not very happy with the running order. I wasn't as well. I feel like sadly Montenegro will not return to the final. They are back this year and I feel like EBU could give them a better spot. At the end of the day, it's a no for me, so I put Montenegro in last place, in 16th place.
Sadly, I think their chances were over as soon as they drew first half, because if they were in Serbia's place, maybe they could be squeezing through because it is more memorable towards the end. But from this slot and with only 1-2 Balkan, we've just got Serbia, and Austria sometimes vote for that way too. Yeah, but it's not going to be enough. I think they'll get a little bit of support because it is one of only a few ballads, but I have it 14th.
Okay, so next we've got Ireland. I really enjoy this entry. Give us the 90s vibe, really reminds me of my childhood. I feel like people will connect with this entry. It's funny. She will create a very cool atmosphere. And Ireland's got their best friends as well in the semi-finals, so fingers crossed for her. I put Ireland in 9th place.
I'd love them to come 9th because it is one of my favourite entries of the year. However, in a semi which does have quite a lot of the female pop songs, obviously this is the first one of them. We've got Malta, Luxembourg, Finland, etc. all coming up later, Denmark as well. Unless they can somehow make this really pop on the stage, which by the sounds of what we've heard, they're just going to do a bigger version of Eurosong, which I don't think will be enough. So for that reason, I'm popping it in 13th.
Let's see. So after we've got Latvia, this song is very unique. I don't think is very votable. I can't see people really going for this entry. Unfortunately, they haven't got the best running order as well. I feel like probably the juries will help this entry if we have them in a semi-final. But I can't really see Latvia going back to the final. I feel like they will really struggle. And I put Latvia in 14th place, so not very close.
Yeah, I have them 15th. I think it's just too inaccessible. I know there's quite a few fans that like it, but yeah, I think it's just too much of a stretch for the casual viewer to be voting for it. If you think back to Poland's Tulia, didn't get through. Even Conan Osiris, would that have got through on the televote? If so, I think it was only just, and that was a lot more accessible than this was. So no, I can't see it. So fifth in the running order, we have Armenia, who I think are being under-predicted because they do have a semi lineup that is going to help them. They have France and Germany, where I believe they have diaspora. They've got Greece and Georgia, who often vote Armenia's way as well. And we know Armenia know how to stage. I mean, I think the song's a bit generic. I don't think it. I think it's quite middle of the road, but I think there's enough here that can push Armenia just onto the right side of qualifying, and that's why I have it in 8th place.
Okay, so I've got Armenia in 13th place. I like the song. I feel like I've heard they will add some Armenian lyrics to the entry. As it is, I feel like the performance lacks in loads of things. If he manages to give us very strong vocals and a more polished performance and more memorable, more impactful, he might make it, because the song is catchy and I feel like people could really connect with him. But as it is, I don't think, even with all of these friendly countries, I don't think he will be able to make it, unfortunately. So next in the running order, we've got Austria,
which I think we'll all agree is a certain qualifier. Yeah. When I first heard the song, it felt like a winner to me, with the mix of pop, opera, and then the dance beat towards the end. Of course, it'll depend on the staging, which we'll come to see. But at this stage, of course, it's a certain qualifier, and I have it finishing second in the semi-final.
Okay, I also have him finishing second. It's an epic entry. JJ vocals will be spot on. He will be giving us a very powerful and perfect performance. Personally, it's not a song for me, but I can definitely see him doing very well in a contest.
So moving on to Greece. Now, I appreciate this one. I appreciate it's a quality song, but I just can't get into it. I don't think there's enough dynamism within the song. I think it's all quite one note. And for that reason, I think this could be one of our shock non-qualifiers, because I'm just not seeing a lot of votes coming in for it. They do need to drastically change the staging, which I think apparently they are going to do, which may change my mind. But based on what we know at this stage, I'm having it missing out, and I have it 12th.
Okay, I have Greece in 5th. It is one of my favorite entries of this year. I love to see identity in an entry, and when I listen to this song for the first time, I've had Greek vibes all over it. It's in a foreign language. I feel like people will connect with the entry. She's got great vocals. Staging wise, I hope and I believe they will do better job than they had in their national selection. But I can't see Greece missing out the grand final. This song has quality, powerful message, and I feel like Greece will end up in the top 10 at the end of the grand final.
Moving on to Lithuania. I would have this as borderline because it's another entry I don't think is that accessible, but we do have to consider that they do have a very good lineup for them, with UK voting, Ireland voting, and Latvia of course as well. It is unique, especially amongst the majority of the female-led songs in this semi-final, so I think it'll stand out enough for that reason as well. Combining those factors is why I've popped it in 6th place.
So yeah, definitely this song stands out, and we haven't got anything similar in the semi-final. I put them in 7th place. I would say like 80% sure they will qualify. And it's nice to have diversity in the show, and the song has quality, and people need to appreciate the entries. So next we've got
Malta. So it's the beginning of the second half, and I think that they've been very unfortunate with their running order yet again, which is becoming a running theme for Malta. Really struggling with running order positions. Thinking back to Destiny last year, they had to open the semi-final, and I think it's still a qualifier because it does have the hype, and she's a charismatic performer, but I don't think it's going to the heights that many fans are hoping, and what I would have hoped as well, which is why I have it squeezing through in 9th.
Oh wow, so I've got Malta in 4th. I don't think the running order in this case affects Malta that much. I feel like if in any place she would qualify, it's one of the fan favorites. There is loads of hype for this entry. She's got viral on TikTok. Got similar situation with Norwegian entry a few years ago, Queen of the King. So she's got viral as well. And when she got to the semi-final, she had no problem to qualify. And I feel like it's gonna happen the same with Malta. And I can see Malta getting loads of public votes in a grand final. It is my guilty pleasure of this season, but I start get to the point like I just can't listen to the song because it start annoying me. But
well, yeah, it's my number 1, so I hope it finishes where you say.
Too many times played.
But moving on to Georgia, I think it's such a shame that because Mariam is, from what we know, a great singer. She's very charismatic. But the song does nothing, unfortunately. I don't think there's any hook, and there's nothing.
I think that's the problem.
To latch onto. And Georgia don't have a good history of securing many televotes. Last year being an exception, and even then it was only a borderline qualifier. So yeah, I can't see how this avoids last place, unfortunately, which is a shame because I think she could do a lot better with a different song.
Okay, I do like this song. I think the problem is the melody is not very memorable, and at the end of the day, she sings in English and she sings in her native language, and I feel like there is a disconnection between those two parts of the song. And yeah, she's got great vocals, but where is the public appealing of the song? I don't think the average viewer will vote for her. Unfortunately, I put Georgia in 15th, but it is one of the songs that I really enjoy to listen. So next we've got
Denmark, who I believe are on the longest run of non-qualifications of our regular participants, so not including Montenegro, for example. And this one is, we need to see this revamped staging because she sings well, it's a good song, it's catchy, but the staging was nothing at the national final.
Yeah.
They've said they're going to completely change it, so I'm hoping that they stick to their word. And I think there's enough about this where it can sneak through, and I have got it sneaking through in 10th.
Oh, okay. So unfortunately, as it is, I put them in 12th. I feel like they will need a different staging, different costume, and different approach to the performance. She's got great vocals. The song is great. It is what, when we talk about Eurovision, to people are not very familiar with the contest, that's the songs they have in their minds. So I feel like she could do quite well if she managed to give us a very different performance. Overall, it's a great song, and she's very charismatic.
12th up is Czechia, who I think is somewhat the Norway of this semi-final in terms of it's very radio friendly. It's not crazy, it's easy to listen to straight away. From what we can see, Adonis is a very accomplished performer, very reliable, and Czechia do know how to stage. So, and he has that added bonus of this semi-final being very female dominated. So, yeah, I think this is a solid qualifier. I have it in 5th place, and I think this is one to look out for in the final purely because it is going to be one of the most jury-friendly entries as well.
Yeah, for me, is a locked qualifier as well. I put him 6th. It's a great song, he's a great performer, he's a great singer, and I can see this song doing quite well in the grand final. Loads of people will love it. I could even see this song being quite a hit in the future.
So moving on to Luxembourg, they have been unlucky with their semi-final because they don't have Belgium or Netherlands, they don't have Switzerland, they just have France in terms of French-speaking countries and neighbours. They do have Germany as well, but I don't think this song's really geared towards the German side of things. But I can't forget how popular Austria 2016 was in the televote against all my expectations, which was Zoe, who I believe came something like 2nd in her semi-final, or in the televote at least. And I think this song, it is quite Eurovision-y, but I think some viewers will like that. It's catchy on the first listen, well performed as we've seen in the national final, and I think this is actually going to surprise because it does stand out amongst the other female-led songs as well. So yeah, I think this could be a surprise and be in the top 4 in 4th place.
Oh, okay. I put Luxembourg just squeeze in. I put them in 10th. I'm just quite not sure if the public will vote for her after all of the female pop songs. This song is different, but will people vote for her? I feel like they will need their friends, and that's why I put them 10th, because there is so much competition in this semi-final that she might struggle a little bit. It is a very quirky performance.
I think it's more votable than both Malta and Denmark, and
Do you really
I think its direct battle is probably with Ireland, and this obviously benefits by being so much later in the running order.
Okay.
So that's why I think that it could be one of our top female-led songs. But moving on to Israel, this I have to think to Ukraine from the first semi-final to an extent, in that I don't think this would be as high as I would put it if it was representing a different country, because I do have it finishing first purely based on what we learnt from last year in terms of the public support. I think if it was representing a different country, it would still qualify because she is a fantastic singer and it is a great ballad. But I think it'd be more middle of the pack rather than first. But yeah, either way, that's my prediction, and I'm happy that it is going to qualify because it does deserve it.
Okay, so I put Israel first. I feel like she will have no problems to win this semi-final. As Ryan was saying, we've seen what happened last year, loads of public support, and the song, it is a very powerful, emotional ballad, and Yuval can sing. I feel like they will give us a very simple and effective stage. Everything will work perfectly, and this one is my number 1. So I'm here to see what they are doing with the staging. I'm very curious. So
moving on to Serbia, I saw a picture of rehearsals or costumes yesterday, which indicates they're actually going for quite a modern artistic style performance. Now, before I saw that, and what I'm still going to stick with is that I had them qualifying in 7th, based on the fact it is one of the few male songs, it is one of the few ballads, and it's sung well and performed well, and there will be a market for it, particularly with its competitor Montenegro brings so early on. Now, if they're going the more modern and artistic route with the staging, maybe that will be jarring for the viewers, and it might lose them some of what would be expected to be their fan base. So I'm curious to see how that is going to come onto the stage. But yeah, for now, I have it as good as a qualifier in 7th.
So I put Serbia in 8th. We all love very good Balkan ballads. He is very charismatic, and I feel like the song, it is well votable, it is very public friendly, and performing so late in a running order will give him extra points. I feel like they will manage to squeeze to the grand final, and I'm very curious to see what he's planning to do with his staging.
So we're closing with Finland, who I hope will bring a staging that's very similar to what we had in UMK, because I think it was perfect. Yeah, it's a solid qualifier. I can't see why it wouldn't qualify. Being last on, well performed. I think it might underperform in the final compared to some expectations. But in the context of this semi-final, solid 3rd place.
Yeah, I also have Finland in 3rd place. Lot qualifier. I'm just hoping she will not have a bad running order for the final, because she's finishing this semi-final, closing the semi-final. I feel like
it would be a good opener for the final, which would be disappointing, but yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it is possible to happen, but I think they will give us a very similar performance of her national selection, which is great, and this has all the ingredients to do well in a contest, but the running order is going to be very important for that in a grand final.
So that's what we think in terms of our predictions before rehearsals begin in semi-final 2. Of course, we will be in Basel to watch the first dress rehearsal in just over a week's time, so we'll see how our predictions change after that point.
Okay guys, so thank you very much for watching, and see you next video. Bye!